Hey guys, I'm Chica.
I'm Sunsets, and we're coming at you from Williams Pulpit on the Bartram Trail in western North Carolina. We're here to talk about our next adventure and how you can be a part of it.
So, drum roll please.
Brrr.
Our next adventure is to open a hiker hostel in Franklin, North Carolina along the Appalachian Trail. As you guys may know, Sunsets and I thru-hiked the whole Appalachian Trail in 2017, and it was one of the best experiences of our life and has a very special place in our heart to this day. So when we were hiking the AT, we were on the trail for 6 months, and you spend all day hiking, so you have a lot of time on the trail. So some of the games Greg and I played to keep our minds occupied and interested and distracted from hiking and pain and other things like that and hunger was to play games with each other. One of the things we did to pass the time was we started bantering about hostel experiences we were having in trail towns. And we joked about some of the horrible hostel situations and how if we ever had our own hostel, just as a dream joke really, what we would do to not have these horrible situations.
For example, one of the hostels we stayed at had a hiker to restroom ratio of 15-1. There's 15 hikers standing in line for one restroom that also housed the shower. In our ideal hostel world, we would have a much lower ratio, say 4-1 for hikers, and we wouldn't pack hikers into a small space as much.
Another horrible hostel situation was bunk beds, crammed into rooms. It's very hard to get up on the top bunk, whether you're 40 or even 20 years old. It's extremely hard for a very tall person to climb onto the top bunk.
Yes, but my feet would hang over the edge onto sometimes other people's face.
So to combat that situation, our dream hostel would have separate beds all on the ground, no bunk beds, adequate space between them. Everybody would have their own outlet, their own nightstand, their own lamp, lots of area to put your backpack, and to basically just spread out and have a little place as your home for the night.
Another thing we did not like was itemization of cost. Most thru hikers are going to need a shower, clean sheets,
laundry,
a breakfast, and a shuttle. To break that out and say, okay, we have a really cheap bunk for you, $20, but here's $7 for laundry, here's $5 for your shuttle, here's another $10 for breakfast. Let's make it all one price and provide every amenity that a hiker needs.
Yeah. So as our hike continued on the AT and we talked more and more about hostels and what the optimal hostel would have, it started becoming more of a reality. Like, why can't we do this? Maybe we should open our own hostel. So we started dreaming about it more and more, and it's gotten us to the point where we are today.
So having our own hostel would allow us to maintain contact with the outdoor community, be able to support thru hikers and section hikers and those coming into a town for other outdoor pursuits. It seemed like you hear a lot about hiker depression happening after a long hike because people go back to normal life. Well, we wanted to have things lined up that kept us connected to what we have come to know and love, which is the hiker community.
So let's rewind just a little bit and tell you how we got to this point. Very briefly, Sunsets and I quit our corporate jobs in Dallas, Texas back in 2013. And we sold everything we owned, almost everything we owned, and moved to Costa Rica with just 9 suitcases. We lived there for 4 years, had a great time, got to know a much more simple lifestyle and minimalistic, which we loved. We were very happy, and it really taught us a lot about what we want in life, what makes us happy, and what's important to us.
We learned to prioritize adventures and experiences over things and accumulating money.
Living in the Central Valley of Costa Rica, Sunsets and I got into hiking big time. We did it almost every day, and we really came to like it. After about 4 years of living in Costa Rica, we became ready for the next adventure. We didn't go to Costa Rica to die, and even though we had a blast living there, we just kind of felt we were ready for something different. So we thought, why not through hike the Appalachian Trail?
After the Appalachian Trail, we rested for a little bit, and we decided that our next adventure was going to be in Spain. And so the following year, we walked the Camino de Santiago, the French route, and we just completed that last fall, and that was wonderful. It was a 500-mile pilgrimage from the edge of France through northern Spain.
Totally different than the Appalachian
Totally
Trail.
different. You basically go hostel to hostel. You have a hot meal cooked for you every night. You have copious amounts of wine.
Cheap wine.
And yeah, cheap wine. Good cheap wine. And the cultural and historical experience is totally different. You're walking through towns that are thousands of years old.
After the Camino, we have relocated and settled now in western North Carolina. We are loving it here. It is beautiful. We're very close to the Appalachian Trail, the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, and life is good. We really wanted to be in this area for our hostel location. We think Franklin, North Carolina is a great trail town.
It has 2 breweries, one called the Lazy Hiker. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? It has 2 excellent outfitters, 3 Eagles and Outdoor 76. There's a lot of rivers around, so there's a lot of fly fishing. There's hiking and biking. For a very small town, it's very active, and it's part of the community that we want to be involved with, and we're excited to be here.
Shortly after moving here, we started looking at houses right away, and we found the perfect house. Well, scratch that.
Perfect bones.
The perfect bones for a house. The first time we saw it, I was not interested in the house at all. It needed a lot of work. But we have bought the house. It does have really good bones.
And it's the perfect setup for what we pictured as our ideal hostel. It is basically a duplex. There's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath with a full living room and full kitchen upstairs, and the same downstairs.
And they're separate from each other. So we will be living upstairs. We've made the upstairs our living quarters, and we've been working for the last 6 weeks avidly on cleaning, painting, doing lots of work to the upstairs to basically make it our home, and
Make it livable for us.
It's come a long way, and we're really feeling good about it. It's really coming together.
So now this is where you come in and you get to be a part of this adventure of ours. We need help to get the hostel part dialed in. We chose to do it a little differently. We're using the platform to sell and pre-sell goods and services. So basically, we're using the platform to get the word out that we're selling things that can be, and that money will be used to go directly into getting the hostel up and ready. So for example, one of our donation tiers is a $50 hostel stay, and basically we're pre-selling a one-night stay. That includes a full breakfast in the morning. It includes full dinner at night, and if you've never had Chica's food, it is delicious. It includes everything that we would include with the hostel, including pickup from the trailhead and things like that.
So, what are we going to do with the money? The 2 main purposes is, number 1, to have the hostel up and ready for next year's hiker season, which is 2020 and will be in February. 2 is to have some of the gut core costs covered of the hostel. These are things we need expert people's help with. Sunsets and I are willing to put in our own labor and our own work to almost everything we can and we're able to do, but there's some things that we just don't know how to do and we need an expert to do it, like an electrician.
So like Chica said, we don't shy away from work. Not only have we put the money out to purchase this home, we've spent about $8,000 to replace the roof and the gutter system, and we've put hundreds of hours of our own time into making this place shine. We're just we need your help for that last little hump to get us over, and
to have it done in time by next February.
Yeah, if not, we'll open in 2021, and that's
Right.
fine too.
Yep. So let's cover the things that we will be needing this money for. Number one is we need an electrician.
Yeah, so yeah, some of the in the downstairs area, some of the wiring is wonky. Let's say the panel needs to be updated and moved. It's currently right next to the kitchen sink. Basically, everything needs to be updated and brought up to code, so it's safe for people to use. That would be
Some
ideal.
outlets aren't working.
Some outlets aren't working, so there's quite a bit of electrical work that needs to take place. We need an arborist to come out. We have a lot of trees. It's a very wooded lot, but we have a couple pine trees that are 50-foot plus that are leaning, and the trunk is starting to deteriorate, and we're afraid it's actually leaning the wrong way. It's leaning so that it's going to do damage if it does fall. So we need an expert to come out and take down that tree.
Another thing we need to do is the whole hostel downstairs is carpeted with, the carpet just needs to go. So we need to pull all that up and have someone lay a vinyl wood plank floor that's easy to care for, easy for hikers. Another thing we need help for is there's some stairs that go down from the top deck down to the bottom of the hostel where hikers will be able to come up for breakfast in the morning, and they need to be redone and re-supported. They're not very secure at this point, so we need to have someone...
Not safe at all.
Not safe at all, yeah. So that's not good. Another thing we need is to replace some of the windows downstairs in the hostel. We don't know anything about that, so we're going to have somebody help us with that.
And there's probably 50 other things that we'll spend the money on, little cosmetic things.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're doing all the labor we possibly can by ourselves to make this money stretch as far as possible.
And also, I'm working really hard on finding like secondhand furniture, but remaking it and refinishing it into something that looks really cool. And I'm kind of having a lot of fun doing it.
She's doing a great job.
I've done some for upstairs, and I plan to do a lot more for the hostel. So that helps us save money a lot too. So we want you to know that your money is not going to be used in vain or frivolously.
Every single dollar in this campaign goes into the hostel. And
Yep.
So like Chica said, we don't shy away from work. Not only have we put the money out to purchase this home, we've spent about $8,000 to replace the roof and the gutter system, and we've put hundreds of hours of our own time into making this place shine. We're just we need your help for that last little hump to get us over, and
to have it done in time by next February.
Yeah, if not, we'll open in 2021, and that's
Right.
fine too.
Yep. So this is our next adventure, and we would really love it if you guys join us in our adventure.
Yep, we're under no illusions that a hostel is going to make us rich. It's basically going to be a labor of love. It's our vehicle to stay connected to the hiker community and be involved with through hikers and section hikers. So if this strikes you as something that you want to help us out with, please donate. Buy one of the packages, and we'll see you at the hostel.
And if not, thanks for watching. We love that any of you guys have followed us on any of our adventures and are staying in tune with what we're doing. We would love to have you along for the ride. And if you're in Franklin, give us a shout out. Ciao.